Yonder, Catcher Chronicles is an open-world adventure game that feels a lot like Harvest Moon crossed with the Zelda series of games. Only it never really matches the level of either of those two games, and simply feels like you're on a not-so-epic quest to pick up lots of bits and bobs to give to other people, who in turn reward you with more bits and bobs. It's been a very long time since I've struggled to keep awake while playing a video game, but Yonder, Catcher Chronicles managed it, to the point where I didn't need to rely on my over-dependence on sleeping pills anymore. And that's all very strange, as Yonder Catcher Chronicles is really a charming experience from beginning to end. The world is colorful, and there are a lot of areas to explore. Unfortunately, the game never really seems to go anywhere. Strike that, the game never really feels like it begins. You just wind up on this really gorgeous little island full of random people, only to essentially serve as a glorified postman of random crap. I'm one of those people who really hates needless crafting in games, and Yonder Catcher Chronicles really grinds my gears because that's essentially all the game really is, only with a crafting system that never really amounts to much. You simply run around the world collecting wood, mining minerals, breaking stones, doing a little bit of fishing. It's like the team decided to make an entire game on those neat little side quests you find in MMOs to fill the time between the main quests. This is really apparent as there isn't much to do outside of really playing babysitter to the entire population of the game's world. You find some stones to build a bridge, maybe collect some fish to feed some guy, maybe craft a blanket to keep someone dry in the rain. It's just all so monotonous that it really will drive you up the wall at points. And worse, there just never feels like you get any reward on this epic fetch quest, to the point where I simply felt like a glorified delivery boy the entire time. But one thing that is really lacking is the ability to do much with the stuff you actually craft. Sure, you can build some stuff here and there, but nothing really of value that makes the player advance or evolve in any meaningful way. In most games, you can at least sell what you collect and craft to earn more money, to say buy new weapons or items or armor, but Yonder Catcher Chronicles simply lets you barter for other items or junk that you probably already have. And since you can't enter any of the game's buildings, there really aren't any shops, simply people standing around outside, which just makes the world feel all that empty. This is all made worse since the Zelda connection is made a lot when people talk about this game, but other than the style Yonder Catcher Chronicles uses, it just simply isn't a suitable fit. You don't go on any sort of meaningful adventure, you don't fight cool monsters, you don't explore dungeons, you don't do anything other than that simple fetch quest for islanders that are really just too lazy to do anything themselves. And when you do complete a major quest, you might get lucky enough to open up a new area where you can do the same quest over and over again. And then we get to the Harvest Moonish sections, which really only involve you building very small farms across the game in designated areas. You can use the random bits and bobs to craft some pens and pepper your farm with items, but again, there isn't much reward in the end for doing this. You can tame some animals and walk them to a pen so that they can pump out milk for you so that you can, well, do something with it, I guess. Or you could just bribe people with food to run your farm for you and do even less. And that's really the biggest core issue with Yonder Catcher Chronicles. There simply isn't any reason to play the game if you're looking for something to do. You go and collect bits and bobs, or you hang out at your farm. These two elements work in their respective games, but they sort of feel at odds with each other in this one. Things got so bad that I even completely forgot what the main story quest was after playing for a while. You just never truly feel validated for all the running around or rewarded for building a bunch of items and farms. It all just feels like an endless cycle of collecting A to get B, which then becomes A to get B, and then repeat that over and over again in new areas. Now, I'm not saying this is a bad mechanic in general, but other games manage to fill the space between A and B with something more substantial. Yonder Catcher Chronicles is a lovely looking game that is incredibly charming, but simply doesn't offer a lot for the player in terms of depth. Couple this with some really floaty platforming controls and some amazing music that just seems to cut out or dip at random while playing, and you're left with a pretty looking game without a lot of meat on the bone. And at $25, there simply isn't all that much of a game here. In the end, Yonder Catcher Chronicles is a gorgeous little game that hides the fact that it's simply a boring and expensive side quest simulator. Hey everybody, and thanks for checking out this review of Yonder Catcher Chronicles here on Gambit Digital. If you'd like to read the full written review and others just like this one, you can head over to our website, gambitmag.com. You can also find us over on Facebook for tons more content coming out every single day. You can also find us all the way across the web on Twitter, Instagram, all over the place. You can see those links below. If you'd like to support the show in any way, we'd appreciate it. We'd love you to leave a like, a comment, subscribe, all that stuff all those influencers tell you to do. So until next time, we'll catch you guys later. Have a good one. Yonder Cloud Catcher, Scratcher, Back Scratcher, Back Scratcher.